So here in the valley of the Céou, we will give you the song of the Céou, the sound of a small river, a sound which is with us all the time, singing loudly at the top of its voice in winter, a soft murmur like a lullaby in summer. Often we take it for granted, but it is there and always has been, singing to us just as it sang to our forefathers.
Stand still, stay quiet, and listen to my melody, to this soundtrack of your lives here in this valley, for this is my song. Just listen.
In a small marshy field, collecting the runoff from the hills all around, slowly, quietly, she arises, coalescing out of moisture, damp soil, damp air. Discrete drops attracted, combining into a trickle into a puddle into a flowing entity with purpose, with direction. Searching out the line of least resistance, feeling the pull of gravity's insistence, she answers the call of the sea. And as she moves forward, downward, growing slowly, she becomes something deserving of a name.
They call me the Céou, but my journey has only just begun. I'm still small. As I scramble twixt tufts and tussocks, under brambles and branches, over the hard bedrock of roche dure, patience, I will grow.
Yet, no matter she is small, her worth is soon appreciated. Beaten tracks across the fields, roe deer, foxes, badgers, they all come to her. Even the immigrant ragondin, the coypu, makes himself at home as she pools, passing under the first of many bridges to come.
Pure water, as old as the hills, as fresh as the morning dew, sparkling in the morning sun. Small fish bathe, trout secrete themselves in the shadows under the banks. A kingfisher blue flash, the soft lips of thirsty deer, prowling foxes, blundering boar, I welcome them all. Sweet water. I have always been loved for this.
She receives her first tribute as she passes the valley of the Foulon, coming down past Vaillac to join her. Clear water, carrying the hint of a history 700 years old, the flavour of hard fighting and hard times, of ancient toil and ancient struggles, of brave French and English blood lost for a castle, a chateau now left slumbering in a quiet valley.
I know you people too well. Superstitious, violent, needy. Too often your blood has tainted me as I drain your lands. Sacrificial victims, conquered peoples, losers, indiscriminate reprisals, valiant martyrs. Yet all blood is red till filtered through the rocks of ages, leaving an unmistakable tang on the tongue. I carry part of all of you in me.
So was it worth it, the blood and the sacrifice, for this hard, harsh land, where the best harvest from small fields is an ever-growing pile of stones? Yet these are the stones which line her course, the rocks and cailloux of the course, the holes and caves, the limestone gullies through which she has run for millennia.
I know you people so well. I have seen your crude scribbles on my cave walls, your attempts to capture the spirit of those animals you learnt to need, to leave your mark on posterity in a handprint. I have seen the legion's standards, emblems of your pride as you massacred the Gaulois à l'Hôpital de Mersan. I have seen the battle flags, not once, but many times. I have washed the debris of so many of your futile turmoils. So much blood. French, English, German, Cathar, Protestant, Catholic, Occitan. Yet still I flow fast, tumbling in winter, slow, trickling in summer.
And now she meanders, sheltered by oak, field maple, ash, the first of many mills where enterprising folk first saw her possibilities. Moulin de Bélague, Moulin de Boulazat, important in the local economy until invention overtook them, consigning them to a footnote in the ebb of history. And she chuckles as she passes, as she flows gently now through ancient mill races, devoid of their wooden wheels, past seized, rusty mechanisms no longer able to use her power. Now she pauses. Pont de Rhodes, certainly no colossus, just a few houses sat on her banks, where she passes under the old Paris-Toulouse road. An ancient resting place, a coaching inn, a stop for horses to drink her cool, clear water before the long, steady climb as the road continues south, a relic now made redundant by motor cars and autoroute.
I'm happy to idle here a while, boosted by le tir-lire coming down those southern slopes to join me. I watch with amusement as holiday makers, campers at les rives du Céou, frantically enjoy splashing in my waters, or patiently, mostly vainly, fishing in the pools we make as we mingle.
Strengthened, she advances along the valley, allowing her waters to be used by those lucky enough to farm in the valley bottoms, in the fertile lands along her course.
Generators jug. Pump sucks. Water sprays. Droplets sparkle of rainbows falling, to be drunk greedily by thirsty plants. Barley, oats, corn, maize, sunflowers, tobacco create a winding ribbon of ever-changing colours as to make Mondrian jealous.
The land sinks slowly from east to west, from the Massif Central down to the Atlantic, but oh so gently, forcing her to twist and turn as she seeks out her ever-descending path, never minding if it's north, south, east or west, as long as it's downwards. The going is easy now, but oh how she used to be forced through, under these innumerable moulins, these former temples dedicated to her ancient power.
Hot sun, drifting dust, the smell of cut hay, brown fields, round bales, summer.
And so onwards, flowing strongly, at least in the winter, a strength now unused. Along the valley, le Moulin Grand, le Moulin de Robert, le Moulin d'Ollier, till Saint-Germain-du-Bel-Air, and, joined by the Foulard, a little stream draining out of the hills, she is blocked, barraged, forced to pool.
They try to block my passage, to make a feature of my idling waters, the unintended consequences of their efforts to control me, small fish, frogs and toads, a water snake or two, ducks, and the patient heron. I also am patient. Across the valley I see the venerable church and the impressive Hôtel de Ville, reminders of Saint-Germain's former Bel Air. Part of your history, but near arrivistes in mine.
She lazes beside the old mill, Le Vieux Moulin, now a campsite. But even the campsite has seen better days, unable to compete with the Med, the Costas, low-cost flights.
Summer. Holidays. Overnight camping cars arrive. Tents spring up like a sudden growth of mushrooms, encouraged by good weather soon spoilt by rain. A short season.
Yet she cannot resist the call of the sea for long, and so she pushes on, along the valley, past Moulin de Cossoul and the many small farm buildings huddled against the slopes, so as to keep the valley, the good land, free for profit.
Ah, yes, I can make a living here, they said, full of enthusiasm, unaware of summer's unrelenting heat, winter's harsh bite, the cache of rocks hidden in thin soil, the deer's delight in fresh buds. Ah, yes, I'll make the most of what I have. But it helps to be a naive optimist.
Gently she flows through these wide valleys, past villages, Conquerez where the Pairie joins her, around hamlets, Courbourset where she welcomes the Rivalais, and on, meandering through these chalky slopes. Now she, the Céou, is joined by the Bliou, creeping out from the lands around Gourdon, perched high, dominant.
Faintly, I still hear the echoes of ancient voices, French, English, the cries and curses of Gascony and Aquitaine. Bad blood now diluted in the waters, no bitterness left. How time makes unimportant old enmities, old rivalries.
Stronger, her course marked by accompanying trees whose roots drink of her waters, she continues westward through the Champ de l'Abbé, the abbot's field, and past the ruin of l'Abbé Nouvelle.
How curious! A church still new after so many centuries, now a new ruin. Ah, how I miss being serenaded by the chants of strong male voices. Yet those songs of worship were too often drowned out by the angry shouts of conflict and war. Wars for land, wars for greed, wars for beliefs, till a house of God, built for glory, became a ruin, useful only as a source of stone for more mundane dwellings.
But now she begins to hear the call of other voices, soft for now, but insistent, pulling her like sirens onward, ever westward. She must follow them, over man-made boundaries, out of the Lot, into the Dordogne, and past the Château de Repère, menacing, watching from high above the valley.
I remember how long it took to build. I remember its finished glory. I watched its decline, its piecemeal destruction. And I watch now, waiting to see if it will jump or fall.
She cannot linger here. She must continue, past moulins, past small villages, under bridges, on through the flat valley bottoms, idyllic in summer, but which cannot contain her winter power. Lush summer meadows, which become drowned fields once the cold rains swell her rage. She pauses on the outskirts of Daglin.
Ah, yes, Dagla, a village made picture pretty to attract the still invading English, making their bijou residences out of the homes of peasants and artisans, crowding the restaurants and art galleries in the larger buildings of the village centre. Yet I cannot ignore the growing call, ever stronger, pulling me on.
She flows now through a changing landscape, more fertile as she outruns the influence of her rocky limestone origin, through a landscape shared between farming and campsites. And summer brings a babble of foreign voices along her wooded banks. So faster now, winding round prosperous villages, Saint-Martin, Saint-Cyprien, Pont-de-Causse, till she accedes to the insistent call of her inevitable destination, the Dordogne River and their confluence at Castelnau-la-Chapelle, guarded by the chateau high above their meeting point, overlooked by the memories of the hardy boatmen who loaded their flat-bottomed craft with wood and wine, ready to take them down the treacherous winter waters to Bergerac and Bordeaux.
An unequal meeting, for I cannot resist, and I am dissolved into stronger, faster waters. Now we flow together, the Dordogne and I, westwards towards the sea, to become part of a larger whole, to continue life's cycle. For as I change and fade, as I evaporate and coalesce, I am continually renewed.
So think of this small river whenever you taste fresh raindrops wetting your lips, or sip from a bubbling spring of clear water. For the Céou is in those raindrops, in that clear water, a very small part, but there nonetheless, giving flavour to it and to you.